welcome! In this video I want to talk all about music, and I'm going to use my own learning, in particular right now with Korean, to give you a bit of an example of how this works and how I like to use music, or we'll focus on one way in particular of how I like to use music with my language learning. So just to start off, I want to share a few different ways that you can do this. With Korean in particular, I've found that there are plenty of channels on YouTube with like multilingual lyrics, and these channels are getting millions of views on like K-pop songs. It's absolutely insane. But what's really cool about them is they're really good because it's got the Korean, it's got the sort of romanization, and then it's got the English underneath, and the lyrics are really well timed. So I found those to be quite a sort of helpful little break, you know, as I sort of go in or out of a bit of chunk of study time. And another thing that I use occasionally instead of those sort of K-pop-y songs is Disney songs. So what's great about Disney songs with any language you're learning, there's generally a sense of familiarity. So you probably know a few Disney songs, maybe loads of Disney songs already in your native language, and chances are they're translated. And if you're really lucky, some of those translations and those versions will end up on YouTube or even on Spotify. I've got a few playlists on Spotify for Disney songs as well, so I'll link to those in the description below. But what's cool about this is that because there's that sense of familiarity, even if the lyrics are going to be different themselves, you do have an idea of the sort of sentiment of the song, and that really helps when you're getting started. And you know, just to dive into a brand new song that you know nothing about can be a bit daunting if you're looking to actually use it to learn and not just to listen to and enjoy. Now, something else that, you know, when you have found the songs that are going to work for you, something else then that you want to be doing is listening lots and lots and lots to the same stuff. So find something that you really enjoy so that you can listen to it over and over again without it getting boring or repetitive. I found, for example, the song from Moana, the How Far I'll Go, that one where she's on the little raft. That one I found in Korean on YouTube with Korean lyrics underneath. So I've watched that one quite a few times, and you know, the more that I learn in general, and then the more times I go back to that, I notice, oh yeah, I know what that means now, or the Hangul is getting a little bit easier to read each time, and that's really rewarding to have that thing, that consistent thing that you go back to. I've done this in the past as well. I remember with Indonesian there was one song in particular called Sama Sama Tahu by a band called Hivi, I think, or Hivi, and that song, I really enjoyed the song, so I was able to keep coming back to it, and it wasn't like a chore or anything. It was just an enjoyable like point of reference of, oh yeah, I'm getting a little bit more now, or that word makes sense now, and oh, I didn't know that last time. So yeah, really helpful to actually be able to go back to stuff as well. But beyond just listening to music, in terms of actually learning languages with it and not just using it as inspiration and kind of a fun side of language learning, there are ways that you can really take this further. So I'm going to give you one suggestion for each skill or key area. So we're talking listening, speaking, writing and reading, and then grammar and vocabulary. And I'm just going to give you one suggestion of what you could do with music for each of those areas to improve each of those areas of your own language learning and progress. We'll start with listening then. So one suggestion here would be selective comprehension. So like I said, if you've got something like a Disney song or something you're familiar with, then going in and listening out for key words. So let's say it is, I don't know, the song from The Lion King, right? And you know that you're going to be listening out for this one word. I was going to say lion, but I don't think any of the songs have the word lion in, maybe? I don't know. You know, but you know that there's that word that's going to be coming up, so you can listen out for that word. That is one way that you can use it for listening, to actually improve your listening comprehension, is listening out for those words you understand. Selective comprehension. So you're not worrying about the bits that you don't know, you're focusing on what you do know. Or maybe it's the chorus. Maybe you take the chorus and you listen up for that chorus each time, and you're like, oh yeah, there it is, there's the chorus, dum 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 dum, cool. Oh, there it is again, dum 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 dum, cool. So that's one way that you can improve your listening with music. Writing. I feel like writing is forgotten, it's ignored. I've talked about this before, about the role of writing within language learning, and I'll link to that in the description as well, or maybe on a little card above my head. But one way that you can use music for writing is as a stimulus for free writing, which I think is just beautiful, this like complete exploration of language and of the music through your own words and through your own thoughts and feelings and emotions and all of that jazz. So, you know, you can take a piece of music, take a song, listen to it, and whether it's like there's one line or there's one word or there's just the whole general feeling of the song in general that you want to take from that, or maybe you want to like focus on the perspective of the singer or the perspective of the person that the song is about. Whatever it is, there's so many angles you can look at this and use music as a stimulus to just write stuff. And then decide, okay, am I going to be writing a diary entry or an email, or am I going to be writing, you know, a kind of narrative of what happened before the song was written or after this song was written and the person it was about knew it was about them or whatever, right? Really, you can get as creative as you want with this. Speaking. Okay, we want to improve our speaking with music. The obvious thing would be to kind of shadow along. Yeah, that's cool as well. But something else would be, and kind of similar to the writing in terms of making it your own, would be to record your own opinions. So think about your own review of this song and how would you describe the music, how would you describe the lyrics, the feeling, how does it make you feel? You know, review that song and record it to yourself. You can record it on your phone, you could even just say it aloud or sort of say it in your head if you're somewhere where you can't speak out loud. But think about how you would review it and review the piece of music, review the song in your own words out loud. Speaking practice, done. Reading. So there's plenty of activities you could use here. Any activity that you would typically do with any text, just transfer that across to lyrics. One of my favorites, and I've talked about this many times before, would be traffic light reading, which is really cool because you are looking through the lyrics, you're scanning for the words you know, highlight them in green, scanning for the words that are kind of, I'm not too sure, orange, highlight those ones in orange, and then scanning for the words that you have no idea about, highlight those in red, and then you're able to decipher like, okay, well what actually of those words that I've highlighted in red that I don't know, which ones are going to really change my understanding of the whole song, you know, as a whole. So that's a wonderful way to kind of just improve your general like reading confidence and comprehension. And yeah, something you can do with lyrics too. So win. Vocab. I'm a big fan, and if you follow me on Instagram you will have seen this a few times by now, I'm a big fan of mind mapping vocab. So, you know, if you have a word or a topic or something, you can take that and you can think, okay, what other words, what other phrases and vocabulary is relevant to this, you know, kind of word and associated with this one word. So maybe it's that you've got the general sort of emotion from that song, and what other words and feelings would you associate with that? Maybe it's one word or one line in particular, and you know, what would you associate with that? You make a mind map about that. So that's a great way to expand your vocab through using music. And finally, grammar. Everybody hates grammar, right? Well, grammar, and this is the one I'm going to have a go at in a minute. Grammar is great because one way you can really easily play with your grammar, in particular with verbs and with tenses, if the language you're learning has tenses, would be to change the tense of the verbs in the song, or even change the time that the song is talking about or happening in. And that way you're getting a bit of practice of, you know, recalling different tenses for different verbs and just really kind of having fun with it at the same time. It doesn't become like a grammar drill, because that's effectively what you're doing, but you're doing it in a much more enjoyable, light-hearted, pleasant way, but you're still getting the same work done. So that's cool. And that is why I'm gonna try it right now. So I mentioned that song from Moana, the How Far I'll Go. So I'm gonna find that one, and when I spot the verbs, I'm gonna try and change them into the future tense, because I can write that, but sometimes I struggle saying that out loud. So, so I saw. I spotted it, right. So I saw, that's, she's talking about standing there. I think that's the spot. Stand is like a, oh no, I'm thinking of sit. So I saw. So it must be so. Soda. To stand. Is that right? I'm gonna just neighbour that. Check that. If you don't know Korean, neighbour is like the best dictionary. I just made it into a verb. Okay, let me see. soda, soda. I got it right. Okay, so soda, so is so, is what she says. So I want to make it into so, go, ye, yo. 소거예요. 소거예요. I'm not pronouncing it right. 고예요. 고예요. 소거예요. 소거예요. Cool. We've got another one. Okay, so that's not bad. There's like a page of notes that I can then go away and kind of look at a little bit and see if I've got right. Like I said, check some of it with my tutor if I'm not sure. So yeah, that is just one sort of example, out of the options above, and of course, never an extensive list, right? But there's plenty of ways, and I hope this has inspired you to see that there's plenty of ways you can use music for language learning beyond just listening and hoping it goes in your brain and magically you understand it. All right, so I will leave it there. Let me know in the comments below if you use music for language learning, or if you want to but you've never quite been sure, has this been helpful for you? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, remember to subscribe for regular language learning videos, and I will see you very soon. All right, bye.